Unspoken answers to unspoken questions. This time around, we're having a superstar, unspoken superstar in the building. Facing him for 1 year right now. And, I'm glad he took the text. And he said, all right, yeah, we'll do it. Now we're doing it. No other than KoyeSax. So,
hi everyone. My name is KoyeSax, and thank you, Ola, for having me on your platform. It's an honor. Ola said I've been chasing the me. No, he has not been chasing me. I've been chasing each other.
So, is it? But you've been on the phone, on the, everywhere. You're always busy. This. I know. Yes, you have to chase the money, or the money would have to chase you anyway. But at least
it was an opportunity I couldn't miss out. Being on your platform was one I didn't want to miss out on.
Yeah. Well, okay. Say, that would be the first question. Your fans, they were saying, "Oh, why are you been missing?" And everybody was looking for you. I saw some post, it was like, man, this man is not, he wasn't kidnapped. But tell us something about it, because, I know definitely you were in Nigeria doing some shows. How was it?
Yeah, I mean, thank God it went really well. So, the year 2022 in particular was, one of the better years, one of the best years to say the least.
Nice.
We achieved so many things we planned and things that we wanted to do. And usually in December, I go back to see the family, just checking on things, and also just for me to recalibrate and get my mind back for another year or whatever.
So it was more like homecoming.
Yeah, it was. So when I usually go back, then I always have like shows that I do in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So once people know that I'm around for a particular period, they send inquiries saying, "Oh, they want to play at the events and stuff like that." So, but then this one was prolonged longer than it normally is. So usually I'm usually there for about a month or so. Okay. I ended up spending about over 2 months or whatever, and this was because we're working on our EP, my debut project. And the people I was working with so I worked on it throughout the whole of 2022, earlier in the year. So the people I was working with, they were in Nigeria. So the producers, the choir, so I used a choir, some Grammy Award winners. I worked with so many people, and the band members, the lawyers, and I was all doing this from FaceTime. So I was here in the UK while they were in Nigeria, FaceTiming me, and the band were in the studio. I was telling them what to do, stuff like that. So me now being back in the country, I had to, meet these people live and, discuss one or two things they needed to, edit, things wanted to sort out, even the artists that was featuring and stuff. So I had even met them. So we used that opportunity to catch up and also work on so many things that we have planned. So that was just a period for me to just recalibrate and, restructure my management and how we want to go forward this year. And I mean, a lot of people were worried. A lot of inquiries I had in, so I had one right after I came back in Paris. And then they were like, "Oh, I hope they've not seized your passport." Coming back. And so a lot of people were worried. Even some people that have events in November in the UK, so they were like, that this one you're not back. Oh, I hope there's
what's no problem.
So I said,
was it part of the, because I know you released some videos on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Is it part of it?
No. So I'm yet to release the project itself. So I'm yet to release the actual EP that, we dropped. It's about 4 songs. I'm releasing that towards the end of Q1 or early Q2 of the year.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Yes, guys, drop your enquiries, drop your comments. We'll definitely send it to our guest. And for your birthday, for your weddings, for, private parties, drop the link and share our platform, Unspoken Answers. Yes, I know you've been up and down, and sometimes it's difficult to, to place you in a place, even London. So how have you been navigating shows with the collaborators that you've been working with? I know, yes, you've been working with BJ Sax. You've been working with some other artists that I don't want to mention, but how do you then navigate it? Because it's okay, you go Paris, you come London, then you come Europe again, so how do you carry it out?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be a liar to say if I did it by my own strength or whatever, but really, really and truly, God has just given me the strength to keep going. That's just the honest truth. But at the same time, I have a management who are very, very competent, and they help make sure things are structured. So my team, majority of them, so I have quite a number here in the UK, but my manager himself, is all around, but he's not here with me in the UK except, 1 or 2 shows. But he makes sure that things are sorted out in such a way that even if I'm going for these events on myself, the burden of, carrying my stuff is not on me and stuff like that. When I get there, it's not like I am running around. So they've structured my gigs in such a way that, I don't have much to really, except I have to focus mainly on the sax and performance aspect of things. So even if I'm traveling from city to city, sometimes I play at 3 different cities in one day. So I'm going from, sometimes I have something in London, then I have Manchester, then I have back in London that same day. So it's like, my main focus is literally just the performance. They sort out the logistics and stuff like that, so even when I'm collaborating with other artists, it's just all the background work has been done to make the actual project we're doing together a lot more seamless, a lot more, straightforward.
I asked that because, I've seen your crowd. I've seen your clients. But, sometimes your crowd could be, let's say, I don't want to, an African setting. Then you now be going to the next show that will be a more Caucasian. Caucasian, yes, things have to be structured. Yeah. Whereas this side could be, we can still manage, we can still extend the time. We can, because that's why I wanted to know, because, I know definitely it's going to be like a burden for you, like when you're going to, or you like, Wales, Cardiff, and then you want to come to.
Yeah. I mean, it's so in regards to, the structure and how I'm able to juggle timings, for example, in different cities. So we tend to be rather strict with timing, because as you said, a particular area from where I come from, they tend to be a lot more let me not say kill us with time. That's what matter. They say that event's going to start by there are many events I played that I meant to start playing by 12 and the bride comes out by 3. And literally. So what we ended up doing is that we're a lot more strict with our timing. Whoever with the crowd is, whoever with the client is, no matter how big the client is, at the end of the day, it's business. So we do ours are strict. So we say, okay, we're doing, if you guys are, you want us for 2 hours, it's 2 hours from when we get there. So it's not like I'm playing, So what that does is that when we know that we're there between 12 and 2 p.m., then we can accept a gig in, let's say Scotland or Edinburgh and say that, okay, we can be there by 5 p.m. and do 5 to 7. Or if they're still doing, or if they want 5 hours, 5 to 10, for example. And then I know that I still have that window to accept another thing in Manchester, for example, that is, let's say 11 to 1 a.m. or whatever. So because of how strict we are with timing, sometimes, even if the event has not even started, if you want me for 1 hour and 2 hours into the event or 1 hour into the event, you're yet to start, they will have to leave because I have something else to. Because if not, they would take your time
because the vibes could be, everybody's hyped now. Hyped, these.
Like they open their pockets. If everybody's enjoying
exactly. But because you have to I know like you said, us, we always okay, the music is flowing, everything is giggling, everything, and people are saying, what's wrong with you now? You even need this 30 minutes. You do it now for what now?
I mean, it happens many, many times. It happens so many times that, they will say that, I'll just continue that. But, I also have a policy that if you want me extra hours, then you can pay for that. If I don't have anything. So that only happens if I don't have any. If I have commitments, like there's no, my priorities with the next clients for that timing. So I have to be there for the event in time. But if I don't have any other thing, then I can reach a compromise. I have a policy saying that, okay, you want me additional hour, then you can pay, so for the additional hours, and then I can stay further. But when I first started, but earlier, many years ago, that was an issue we had because we would say that 2 hours, for example, 1 hour, and then the event is starting 2 hours late, 3 hours late, and then an event that I say, okay, I'll be done by 4 p.m. I end up finishing about 8 p.m. I missed the last train back. I have to book a hotel in that city because that's not been planned on. So it just ends up. So that's why we ended up making that policy, just so we're a lot more strict and intentional with that.
Okay. I wanted to dive into another thing. I knew when you finished your degree, elect. And since that time, I've been seeing, I don't know about the elect, being in engineering, but I know, yes, when it comes to sax, potentials and more money. So I saw, was it a post or you were talking about something and you say, my dad must not talk about, you don't talk about your engineering aspect that you want to quit. So tell us, okay, people now want to, motivational things, say, chase your potentials. You still have maybe your day job or whatever. But for people,
I'm a saxophonist. I'm a full-time saxophonist per se, but I am engineering trained, engineering studied, engineering practice. Likewise, I studied electrical and electronics engineering from the University of Warwick. So I think one thing I need to, I should say is that in regards to juggling things, it just depends on how much you believe in them, how much you believe in each of them. And in I was speaking to one of my agents, and he was saying that, this is what the discussion was about. I said that there's a misconception with the word side hustle.
Yeah.
The English is very, very misleading. You're doing something and then you're doing another thing and then you call it your side. You're doing it on the side.
Yeah.
Like that in itself has caused a lot of people to stop pursuing what they really want. Okay. Because they see it as, okay, I'm just doing it on the side. So some people can say, oh, I'm doing sax on the side, or people can say I'm doing engineering on the side, for example. But say I put the same amount of effort, like a life or death, do or die thing for both of them.
For both
of them, because that's how much I believe in both of them.
Okay.
I have my interest in, engineering, I have my interest in sax. So it's like the whole concept about, I can do this one on the side. It's like, so even some people that do, they're hairdressers, for example, and they're also, they do that maybe during the weekends, and then they work in, financial or whatever.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, weekends I do hair. I'm just doing that one on the side just to get extra money. But at the end of the day, like, if you put the same amount of effort as you put inside your, in quotes, day-to-day job, you see how much, both industries can actually thrive. It's just about the discipline to having time to balance and whatever. And I believe like life are in stages. I believe like, there are certain stages that you have to focus on certain things. And, the video you're talking about, I was giving a talk at a university event, and, they were saying like, they know how during, I did, by grace of God, I did well in my, my degree, and I was able to juggle that with traveling from city to city, playing the sax. And I said that, my own is just that my dad should not catch my results ever being bad. That's when, if not, he just sees my sax, because the situation, the stage I was at, that was priority. My educational, qualifications, that was and because I didn't study music. So music per se was not my primary reason why I was in the institution I was. I was there to obtain a degree in electrical and electronics engineering. So I can't obtain that degree and I can't not do well in that degree and then I'm pursuing sax, and sax is thriving. Do you understand? Because that was just not where I was at the moment. And, someone was sponsoring my education. My father was sponsoring my education. So, why I'll be a wicked child to say that, I don't want to do what you sent me here to do and do something else.
Fela did it though.
He did it, and but unfortunately I'm not Fela. But my point is that, the fact that I had a mentality that I had to succeed in both.
Yeah.
Because I also didn't want a situation where my sax was not doing well.
Yeah.
And then I would say it's because of my engineering degree. Yes, I was able to accept as many as I am now that I am done, because obviously with my degree, like mainly weekends I used to go for my gigs and stuff. But during the week I was focusing on my degree, except I could make time to travel to, because I was in Warwick, so I was in Coventry, so I could travel to another city, play, and then making time for my labs and my work. But I always knew that if I want both to work without anyone lapsing, I have to be very, very disciplined with the time I spend for my degree. I have to focus on that. And then my time that I had on my sax, I focus on that. There are times where there will be an overlap, and then you have to prioritize, as I said, the stages. So at some point when I knew I had more time on my hands, let's say, things were not, I didn't have as many courseworks and stuff like that, then I could say that I could use that to boost my sax, aspects. So I went for more gigs, I did more shows, did more whatever. And then times when I said that, okay, I'm getting towards exam period, then I started, reducing the bookings I accepted, and just so I could focus on my, so I think like the whole, my side hustle, there's no reason why it should be your side hustle. Like, it's your hustle. People that work in, in tech, that's their hustle. It shouldn't be.
I was reading something about procrastination, and he was the guy that was saying, even if it is 0.01, and you focus on that 0.1, and you continue consistently, you know, it gives you a leverage for others.
100%.
You know? Yeah. Going back to that, who brought or gave or that sax when you were small? I saw some pictures, you know, but I like, okay, you've been doing it from small. So I don't know if your family is musically inclined or maybe you were around people that do, but tell us, how did you get into sax?
So, I mean, I'm not per se from a musical family.
Yeah.
In the situation where my father played an instrument, my mother played an instrument, or my grandparents, not like that. I mean, I've been told that my grandpa, you know, or my grandfather's father used to play the organ or something, but my dad and my grandfather were not, whatever. So it's not like it's running deep in the blood where my father, my grandfather, my great grandfather were all musicians. But my brother and I in particular were always musically, you know, very, very sound. So the sax was actually the last instrument I picked up. My brother plays the drums, the keys, the guitar. Likewise, I played the drums, the keys, the bass, the guitar. I was playing the violin at some point. I was playing the, obviously, everyone plays the recorder occasionally. You know, I played the clarinet, and I was playing them very, very well. I was playing the drums as professional, you know, in the church. I have so many pictures where I was so short and I was playing in church in front of like thousands of people, you know, for, you know, praise and worship and stuff like that. I was, you know, so I always liked the stage. I always liked instruments, and I learned with so much ease. I didn't really take time to learn it. And then there was an event that Mike Karimu, you know, one of my mentors, he had in Nigeria, called Sax Appeal. He used to do every year. He had Sax Appeal, and he invited YolanDa Brown, who was my, you know, was a relative to me, who is a relative to me. You know, she came, MB, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, so she came to Nigeria in, I think that was 2010, thereabout. And my Karamu, you know, invited her, and obviously because of my relationship with her, you know, my Karamu was around the house a lot, and you know, my mom was helping with the concert, with some logistic aspects and stuff like that. So I just appeared to be around when so many things were taking place, you know. And she performed, I think it was Fela's Gentleman, and you know, one of Asha's songs, and you know, with my Karamu's events as well. So at that point, I just sort of fell in love with the sax because I just saw how much attention and authority it had on stage. You know, it was the main instrument. It was the one that like, you know, obviously it was their shows, obviously, but then I just liked how it stood out and like it spoke to me per se, you know. So after like a week later, I just told my mom that I need to get a sax. Get a sax. And, you know, they know that when it comes to instruments, if I say I want it, then it's because I can't do it. So it was not a thing of, what is, you know, so they didn't think, it's wasting my money again or whatever. So one of my aunties, very, very randomly, just came to my mom's office and brought a sax, saying she was selling her son's sax or something for about 70,000 naira. And obviously my mom, fortunately, always so supportive. She just jumped on it straight away and then, you know, surprised me with the sax.
Wow.
And then, you know, I went to music school for about 5 days. I went to music school for 5 days, and then I had to leave because I had to come to the UK. I had a show. Actually, no, I went to Spain. So YolanDa was getting married. And, you know, I was going for her wedding in Spain. I did it in Mallorca, and they asked me to perform.
Oh, from there.
And this was literally 5 days of me having a musical experience, and I was already playing for a show in Spain. And I remember when I see pictures of that at that time, I don't say my age then before people start doing calculations, but I see videos of then I'm just like, wow, that was the moment. And then I said, the fact that I played this thing for 5 days and I can do what I did in front of such a diverse crowd, in front of people much older than me, professionals, big, because she was a big artist at that time as well. So there were so many renowned artists that were there and they were just so impressed. So some of them were like, "Oh, how many years I've been playing for?" So I just said, "Oh, just a couple." Whereas I've just been playing for people about a week at that time or 2 weeks at that time. So after that, then I just picked up the rest on YouTube. Picked up the rest by having interactions with people. And then the following year, Kenny G, Mike Karamu also invited Kenny G.
Wow.
Who is the GOAT on the sax. So Mike Karamu invited Kenny G for Sax Appeal the next year, and I was fortunate to have gone obviously for it, and that solidified my interest in the sax, because I was just like, wow, what a performance by him and Mike Karamu. And since then, as I said, I just watched a lot of YouTube videos. Then I had a lot of teachers for a few years, few months, few weeks, that helped. Then my mentors, YolanDa and Mike Karamu, they kept on advising on things that I should improve on, things like how I can improve, what I can learn from, because they're very, very busy. So they just kept on doing that. And then because you asked like when was the moment I said that this was it, and I said it was speaking to me, like the sax. It made me like, I saw the spotlight it gave me on the stage. I love spotlight on the stage, But when I played keys, when I played drums, and played the other instruments, I was like in the background. No offense to all those performers that play, But then for me, like it was just like I wanted to control, that I wanted to command that stage. And I felt that command with the sax as opposed to the other instruments I played, And then in 2015, after playing the sax for a couple of years, I then had such a bold,
confident anything
step, I took a bold step to have my own debut concert at the age of.
So it wasn't the one of Lagbaja's concert.
No, it was my concert. I invited Lagbaja. It was my concert.
Whoa.
It was my concert in 2015.
Whoa. And that's big.
It was. And,
that's big.
I did that.
Because even then, Lagbaja wasn't in Nigeria or whatever.
He was very exclusive to get Lagbaja out of his house. For
wow.
I
that's big.
I planned it like maybe in October or September there, but I had a notebook. I still have that notebook, and like I just wrote like my plans of what I wanted to do, and it looked so insane because not only the people I wrote down, but the time frame I had to do it, and I didn't know many of them directly, so it was out of people. I just found connection. So 2015. I then told my parents that, I want to have this concert. And I said, I've never seen a more supportive. I couldn't have prayed for a more supportive, family that's I currently do. Because once I say something, in as much as most times it's very, very, difficult as not feasible,
still go for
they would see the best way to make a compromise on making it work. So I told them that, I wanted to have a concert. I wanted it to be people to do what I wanted to do. So, in as much as I didn't understand the industry, I had people that did understand the industry that were in charge, and we got sponsorship, we got deals, we got people to help out with the event in regards to raising funds and whatnot. And, we sold out about between 800 and 1,000 tickets. We did that within just a whole month of putting it out there. Obviously, major people were, we targeted, people that were family, people that were friends, but people that I've also played in front of in those few years, so after that concert, that was what launched me out. Wow. So, because people are like, how is so young doing such and bringing Lagbaja, because Lagbaja actually perform on stage. People have not seen Lagbaja perform in like years, and it's coming to one young guy's show. But, it was that moment that, really, changed the trajectory of my.
Wow. Follow your dream. Follow your dream. I want to talk about this. How do you, because I've seen your at the church,
Mhm.
and I've seen the Afrobeat,
Mhm.
The crowd, and other things. Now, before the camera was rolling, I asked you a question: how do you put all those songs, or know all those songs? This is Christian song, this is Afrobeat, this is, and then you come and then you play.
Yeah. So, I'm a multi-genre artist. By style of music.
Yeah. Because sorry to cut you. I don't want to use Christianese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But in Christian folk, we have our own concepts.
Yeah.
You want to flow in the spirit. You want to flow, and sometimes you just want to just dance, and then in the Afrobeat and all those things is not like that.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know, UK. So do you have to flow into the spirit?
There's only one spirit I flow into. That's Holy Spirit. But regardless of where I'm playing as, the Holy Spirit has my inspiration.
Cool.
He has sort of given me direction of what to play. Before I minister in places, I do wait to get that direction from God, what songs to play, what songs I pray. So I pray for what songs will impact people, what songs will impact myself, because you have to impact yourself as exactly. So I'm not just going there and just free flowing and whatever. Obviously, sometimes because of the pace at which I have, gigs and administrations, sometimes I may not even have enough time to whatever, but I don't do anything without the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. I don't do anything without any ideas. When I play at weddings and, birthdays and, all those ones, those are a lot more structured because I play, except I'm going with my band. So I have a backing music I go along to. So that's already preset, except I always, maybe I change one or two songs depending on the client's, preference, or, I curate specially for them. But I generally have a set list of songs that I do play. Okay. So depending on the client, depending on their choices and whatever. But regardless, I do always have my inspiration from the Holy Spirit based on what songs I think will impact people. So as much as clients has their preferences, I always still make sure that it's still within my exactly. It's all within my values, what I stand for. Because I can't be doing blah 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 in a location where it would be deemed so compromising the next administration.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. But as I said, it's I don't see there being any sort of thing compromising my values. As long as it's not compromising my values, what I stand for, I'm open. I'm good with it.
Okay. Again, Unspoken answers. Unspoken superstar. I'm glad to be associated.
No.
With.
So I'm not to be associated with you. Oh no.
Exactly. No. Yeah. Again, I've followed, your crowd as well. This one might be a little bit, openness, but it's not strict anyway. Okay. When you play in all those events like parties, private weddings and things like that. And I know you're not yet married. Not yet married. I don't want I don't compromise. How do you flow into because I know
how do I stay focused? How do I stay focused?
Because I know you're doing a wedding. Bro, all the players and all the things, they'll be looking at you, man. Can I get his number? Can I whatever? How do you?
I mean, I focus on why I'm there. I focus on why I'm there. I keep my eyes to myself. That's one of the reasons why I wear shades when I play, just so that no one thinks I'm looking at them or no one thinks
even those after parties.
Those so once I usually, and this is anybody that knows about me, once I perform, I'm out within the next few minutes. I don't usually, except obviously it's a requirement and they want me to, the Bible says flee from all appearances of evil. But I mean, times when I'm not saying invite for after party, but times obviously when I need to be there, I will be there.
Yeah, even when you are around, because last year I know you were around Davido's whatever concert and like that. So when you meet them, you meet this, and they say, "Oh yeah, okay, come to my after party. We'll meet there, and then we'll talk about this." You don't, I
will. I'll be there. I'll be there. Like I'm a very, very social person. I'm very, very I can mix with anybody, but I have my eyes fixed on whom it should be fixed on. On whom it should be fixed on. So it's not that I wouldn't say I have wandering eyes per se. So
okay.
make of that what you want.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. We've talked about how you got into saxophone, but tell the purpose of what they want to do.
Yeah.
Tell us, whether it is skill, whether it's, potential, whether it's developing, whether it's, how do you?
I'll say truthfully, you try as many things as you can. I don't think there's ever an age where, you should think like, I am too old or I'm too young to try something new. I'm too young or too old to pursue what I, enjoy doing. I think in order to find where your purpose is, you have to have a passion for it. You have to have a drive to do it, because there are times when the going gets tough. And it gets, it's been tough. Sometimes it gets really, really tough. Like, we'll speak about COVID much later, but, during COVID period, I can give a story of how, we had probably one gig the whole year. And this was the main source of income at the, I didn't have as many shows as I would have wanted. I was, at best, you're in your purpose because you work in, whether you work in tech or you even work in music or you think that's where your purpose. But if you don't have a passion for it, your drive will not be there when the going gets tough. Your passion will not be there when it's not looking too lucrative. It's looking tough. It's not looking too sustainable and whatever. Your passion will get you through it. So I think just really find where your passion is at and try as many things as you can and don't give up, because really and truly, like I can give many, as I said, many examples of, times when someone else would have quit. Right before this concert I had in 2015, I remember, because we're doing like a rally, not a rally, but we're trying to sell tickets and stuff. So I went to this, I won't mention his name, but went to this very, very popular pastor. He's a church of maybe about 5,000 plus people. And, my manager at that time was able to speak with his with his musical team, the choir, for me to perform in the church, to minister in the church. And, they agreed. So I came for rehearsals, and the Saturday before, the service on Sunday. And while I was playing, the choir loved me. Everybody was dancing. They were also excited, looking forward to the next show. And, that's how the pastor then came in. And, he wanted to hear me play. And then he said very, very, piercing words for someone, at my age at that time. He was just like, no, that he can tell I'm very, very talented, but the skill is not there. That, I'm not good enough to play at his, church. That if I heard the sound or the sax mix on the keyboard, like, on the keyboard, you can play different instruments on the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
If I press that sound, I said, yes. He said that's not how you sound. So for that reason, I can't have you play at my event. And everyone, I could see people's faces around there, and they were just like, two things. One, we just finished enjoying this thing. Like, people were dancing, enjoying. About 50 of them. It was a big choir. And they were much older than me. Much older than me. And then that's the first. And second thing, how do you say something to someone of this age in front of so many people? And, well, even my manager at that time, and then, the driver that we came together, they were just so eager to, they were like, how can you see such a young person? But for me, as I said, I'm a warrior. So I took it on I didn't even give any reaction. I was like, thank you so much for the feedback. Really, really, really grateful that hopefully one day in the future, I'll be back. And, that gave me that, that desire, because obviously, as I said, my passion was here. Yeah. So times when I felt like, I was getting rejected. I get rejected. In fact, I got rejected this morning itself for Monday, So still get rejected so many times. Wow. But then it's when your passion is there that despite all these rejections, you keep going.
Wow. Wow. That was a big statement, because sometimes, say for example, teenagers, they are, they're developing their skills, mm-hmm. whether football, whether athletics or something. Yeah. Sometimes they get stuck.
Yeah. Whether it's injury,
I've seen a lot that you see that, this one aspiring footballer, but something will just happen.
Yeah.
And they don't know where, mm-hmm. or where they want to go again.
Yeah.
But like you said, people have to have different options in life so mm-hmm. that, if this one doesn't work, let's do this one.
Mm-hmm.
And developing that small skill, whether it's very small, minimal thing, mm-hmm. you continue. Yeah. Yes. Unspoken answers to unspoken question. Here, KoyeSax, he's been a blessing on our platform. For rounding up, can you bless us with our audience with maybe just 2 minutes, play some sax, and then, round it up. Thank you. Nice one, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Unspoken answers. Thank you so much.